Oh, it was Raising Arizona. All right.
Coming to you from Freedom Land Studios in Texas. This is the Chuck and Z Show. And now, here's Chuck and Z.
What up, everybody? Welcome to the Chuck and Z Show. Of course, I'm Chuck.
And I'm Z.
And with us tonight is producer O-Town.
What's up, Ocean?
How you doing tonight, O?
Doing good. How are y'all?
Doing well, doing well.
Doing well.
How about you, Z?
I'm good.
I was telling O before the show that we're probably going to have to do some work tonight because I can tell you're still tired from Mother's Day.
Yeah, I'm tired from doing nothing on Mother's Day, which is amazing.
Literally, like, don't do nothing. You're not allowed to do anything.
I know.
Yeah.
That was great. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, it was a good day. So I was, obviously I wanted to jump right in because there's some a pressing issue going on in the world right now. I know you guys are watching the news and you're paying attention to all the debate about things that are very serious and that affect us every day. And
Yes.
of course, I'm talking about Dot versus Drake, Kendrick versus Drake, Kendrick Lamar versus Drake.
Dot?
Have you heard about what's going on? They were really mad at each other.
Yes. We've been keeping up with the Drake and Lamar, or Kendrick Lamar
Like, they're really upset.
drama.
Like, they're like calling each other names and stuff. It's crazy. I've never seen people get upset like that. Of course, I'm being silly, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's crazy to watch two of the, I guess, what are considered some of the best rappers out there going at it like that.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, you know how hip hop has always had its kind of,
It's beef drama.
I mean, it started with, the East
all the way
Coast
back.
versus the West Coast.
Nas and Jay-Z, all that stuff.
Well, with Tupac and Biggie. That's
Tupac
the
and
most,
Biggie, of course.
the biggest beef that there was. And there was East Coast versus West Coast. And then so Nas and who?
Nas and Jay-Z.
And Jay-Z.
Yeah.
But they were both East Coast rappers, so that's kind of
Right.
crazy.
Yeah, no, Nas didn't like Jay-Z. Jay-Z didn't like Nas. And Nas ethered Jay-Z.
Yeah. And then there was
Like,
Eminem versus all the other...
everyone. Eminem versus everyone, pretty much.
Yeah. But most recent, MGK.
Machine Gun Kelly. Yeah. Who was a Diddy prodigy.
Can't keep up with
by
these
the way.
acronyms.
Just so you know. Isn't it weird? Like, so obviously all that stuff's been in the news lately with Diddy and all that. But like, how come all these people are kind of like a certain way before they go to flavor camp
Yeah.
and then a certain way after flavor camp? Like, for
What's
instance,
Flavor Camp, Chuck?
okay, so like for instance, MGK, Machine Gun Kelly, like before he went in, like if you go and listen to his old stuff, he was like this hard, no nonsense rapper trying to make a name for himself, trying to prove himself. And then he gets done with Diddy Camp, and now he's like blonde, wearing eyeliner, and has fingernails, and has gone incredibly emo.
Nail polish. Yeah.
Yeah, like he's gone incredible to that side of it. So I mean, I think he saw some things.
He saw some things.
I think it's a little rough at Diddy Camp.
Is that what Flavor Camp is? Is Diddy Camp?
Yeah, basically, like my understanding is that much like the Scouts, they take young boys and they send them away to hang out with an older gentleman.
Okay. Teach
And
them
then
some life lessons.
They all sleep around each other.
How to kindle fire.
How to kindle a fire. How to start a fire. How to kindle fire. Now, how to start a fire. Yeah, that kind of stuff. But I think over there, it's mostly just a bunch of other stuff. Like, it's a little bizarre, don't you think?
I think so.
Wouldn't it be weird, like, if, my son has some talent, he's doing well, and we're going to guide him in his music career, and then you get a call from Diddy who's like, yeah, let him sleep in my bed. Let him come sleep in my house, hang out. At 13 or 14 or 15.
Yeah.
And then,
You're going down that rabbit hole.
I'm not trying to. I just think it's weird. One of the reasons why I'm going down that rabbit hole is because obviously that's some of the stuff that's being alleged by Drake. I mean, Kendrick pretty much laid that out there. That he's basically a Diddy type character.
A Diddy protege.
Yeah, something like that.
Interesting.
But yeah, I would say that, I don't know, I haven't heard, the last one I heard was Not Like Us, which is, I mean, a banger of a song. Like,
Yeah, I mean, the beat's great,
the flow is amazing.
flow's good.
He kind of put DJ DJ Mustard, is that his name? Put him on the beat, kind of like put it right in his face, because that was one of the things that Drake was saying is like, the style of music, whatever. And so it's how they don't mess with him, those kind of guys. And then he's like, oh, okay. Just throw one of those guys on the beat.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think I'd have to give it to Kendrick right now.
Okay. I
think I like the flows better. He doesn't seem to be whining as much. Like, you know what I mean? Like, one of the things about Drake that is I know he's having it rough right now. He's kind of a Drake fan, right? But Drake always just whines. He always reminds me of somebody who whines. And so like whenever he's rapping, even in this diss stuff, it's like whining.
Yeah.
And that's actually, I'm gonna bring that back for a second too, because I was telling Ocean this the other day. Even when who I like Eminem, right? Even now, when Eminem gets into a rap beef, and they're like calling each other names, it's like, dude, you're like over 50.
Well, which one do you think, which one for Drake, like out of the 2 or 3 that he dropped, like which one do you think is the one that he's whining on or complaining on?
Was it Meet the Grams? Was that the one that he did?
That's Kendrick's song.
No, what was the other one that Meet the Grams was in response to?
The first one that Drake released was Push Ups, and then he released the 3-song one, and then he released the Heart Part 6. The second one was called Family Matters.
I think it was Family Matters. I think
Family Matters, to me, I think the best overall song was Not Like Us, because he just kind of tapped into like the culture. People call Drake a culture vulture, so he tapped into like the West Coast ties and stuff like that. But Drake's the Family Matters one, I really like that one. Like he went at a bunch of people. It was a good response to me, but Kendrick's response was just better, honestly. I'm the biggest Drake fan, but
I'm not saying they weren't good songs. I'm just saying that in comparison, there's like what Drake did, and even Kendrick's songs prior to that, they were like here, but then Not Like Us is just this ridiculous song.
I think what worked in Kendrick's advantage is that the Drake one, he dropped it Friday night. And if that would have he would have let Drake sit that record out for like an hour or like a day even, it would have been like saw differently. But the fact that Kendrick released his song, a response to that one in like 40 minutes, it was kind of crazy.
It's crazy.
He already had that one prepared.
I mean, he was probably working on it.
It was in the bag.
It was probably a matter of the beat, the style, how he was going to deliver it.
I mean, not even like. If you even look at like the tone of the song, like the Family Matters one that Drake rapped, like it was 3 different songs. But you know how Drake raps. It's like more of an up-tempo, like catchy type of vibe.
Yeah.
When Kendrick dropped his one in response to that, it was like switched up the tone. It was like this dark, creepy tone.
Yes.
It just caught your attention and made you want to.
That's so true.
Right, like you didn't even think about Family Matters even though it was a really good song.
Erased it.
I agree.
And that's kind of how the diss tracks are supposed to go, right? You release one, the other guy releases, and you forget about that one. I just don't see him topping Not Like Us. I mean, that album's probably going to be like number 1.
I mean, so
has it hit number 1 yet?
Yeah.
It's number 1.
I was walking down the street in Atlanta, this past week because we traveled for work, and so I was meeting some of my coworkers for dinner, and I was walking down, like it's probably like a couple blocks. This guy, and he had to go through like 2 lights. So the whole time as we were going through 2 lights, that song was playing.
He had it on repeat?
He had it on repeat. I was like, dude, is this song, are you just going to play this all night? Like,
yeah. Well, I'm even seeing things like, I saw this bar that had tip cups outside. One had Kendrick on it, one had Drake on it.
I saw that too.
And the Kendrick one was full, and the Drake one had nothing.
I saw that. That's hilarious.
I don't hate Drake. I don't dislike Drake. I feel like he's had 1 or 2 songs over the years that I like. I've got a couple of his songs on my playlist, but they're older songs like Over. Look at Me. That's not Chris Brown. Every time I always try to give him credit for Look at Me Now, but it's not. It's Chris Brown. It's another guy I don't like that I happen to like one song he did. Right?
Yeah.
But I don't know. Drake he's kind of popcorn to me. Always has been when he was younger, and then he was trying to
start it from the bottom.
Yeah, now he's trying to be hard and stuff, and it's like, dude, you were on Nick. Weren't you on like
he started off.
You weren't even on Nick. You were on the Canadian Nick.
Yeah, he started off on that with that Canadian show. I can't remember what it. Ocean, do you remember? Degrassi. So, but that was like, honestly, at that time, because I'm around Drake's age, right? So that same time frame, I felt like those shows were like so much more mature than what I was experiencing. Like Degrassi, and then there was another one with that girl, the blonde girl. I can't remember the name of it, but there was another one like that where it was like this teenage angst kind of show.
Dawson's Creek?
No, but those are all kind of the same.
The same things?
Yeah. And I'm like, you guys are going through a lot of drama at your age. Like, I'm the same age and I'm not dealing with nearly as much drama as you are now.
I've always wondered why I never got into those shows. So, like 90210, Melrose Place, I just couldn't get into them.
I got into those.
I couldn't do it. I don't know why. There was something about it. I just couldn't identify with the show at all.
Yeah. But for me, I also felt like those 90210, Melrose Place, that actually, I wasn't able to relate to it, but
yeah,
they were older than me. So it made sense that they were going through like relationship drama and like cheating, like people cheating on each other.
Yeah.
You know? And I'm sure that happened when I was younger too, but at the same time, it wasn't. That was not what I was focused on.
Yeah.
As a young adult or a young teenager, I'm not focused on like, oh, my friend's cheating or my boyfriend's cheating on, me with this girl and blah, blah, blah. I don't know. It's a lot of drama.
Yeah, I don't know. I just remember like obviously all the girls were into it. Some of the boys that I grew up around were into it as well. And they were like, oh, man. It was like, well, let's go to where I grew up. It was like, let's go over to the Melrose Trailer Park and watch Beverly Hills. I just had.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I just never could
like,
identify with the show. Their problems weren't the same kind of problems.
I got you now. Like,
I just couldn't get into it.
So when 8 Mile came out, that was like totally relatable.
I was in on the 8 Mile. Trailer Park Boys. I'm in on that.
Yeah.
No, I just never really could identify with it at all. But everybody loved it.
The Trailer Park Boy theme.
I also wonder if I'd already kind of had my fill because when I was younger, my mom was always watching soap operas, and these just felt like
Days of Our Lives.
The same thing, like these same storylines.
Yeah, as the world.
That's
what I'm saying. They were like children soap operas.
Yeah. I was like, where are your parents?
Yeah.
Your parents are around for like a couple of episodes every now and then.
Gosh, I want to remember that name of that show, but I can't.
What's so crazy about that is to circle back to the Drake being on TV and stuff and those type of shows. It's crazy because like one of the most popular shows now amongst people my age or younger is Euphoria, and
he's a producer.
Executive produced by Drake, and he's actually that was the name of one of Kendrick's songs during the whole battle. So yeah,
Euphoria. Yeah, I saw that.
Pretty funny to think about.
But Euphoria, you're into that show because of Zendaya, right?
Zendaya, yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't like you were like, oh, this is produced by Drake. Let me go check that out. No, it was.
I actually didn't know it was until like later, or he was like promoting the show on his Instagram and stuff.
I don't know, man. I'm not trying to go down conspiracy rabbit holes, but it just seems like that's how this process works, right?
Yeah.
You get into it at a young age.
Yeah.
You get ingratiated into whatever that lifestyle is, and then you perpetuate it.
Yeah.
As it continues to go on. What's the name of the show, Z?
My So-Called Life.
I never watched that. Was it good?
I never watched it. Like those were like Degrassi and all those, but I remember that girl was in it who played in My So-Called. I didn't even look up the name of the girl, but yeah, those are those shows that I was like, I do not relate to this at all.
Obviously, this isn't mutually exclusive, right? I'm sure that people who were watching those shows also were watching some of the things that I watched. But I was more into, so where I grew up in Gaston, South Carolina, there was this road that was called Black Meadow Road. And on Black Meadow Road, there was, when I tell you, the building was no bigger than maybe this studio area and the little media room put together. So you're probably talking 40 by 40. The whole building, right, is 40 by 40. And that was the Gaston, South Carolina video store. So that's where you would go get VHS tapes.
Yeah.
And I watched every single movie in that place. I was always obsessed with going out and finding some movie that I haven't seen.
Yeah.
So while they were watching that, I was typically do a movie marathon.
You're watching a foreign film.
I was watching pretty much anything I could get my hands on. Obviously, it was a very small selection, so typically by the time I could get there, most of the good stuff was gone. Plus, they had like the $3 rentals. Those were the good movies. The $3 rentals is like new releases. Which by the time they got to Gaston, South Carolina, they were about a month old. But the ones that were $1 were always like the really low budget horror movies, the really low budget martial arts movies, where they just had some guy who taught class once. You know, playing like this, or they would have like someone like Don the Dragon Wilson, who was you know, playing like in Blood Fist or something. Those movies, I love that stuff. So he was like
the Chuck Norris time frame, right?
Yeah, a little bit later than when Chuck Norris. I would say Chuck Norris was in his prime, but all those guys, like I love just watching, and they were always super like cheesy, gory, right? So like the old school, you know, Street Fighter movies with Sonny Chiba. That I was just always watching that kind of stuff.
My uncle actually, on my dad's side, he's like my dad's cousin, but he's my second or third cousin, so we call him Uncle.
That's how it goes.
But he had this badass, I don't know if it was a 1967 or 1960, I'm sure it's like 69, 70 Mustang. And he had it custom painted. It was like turquoise and black, stripes down the side. It was freaking awesome.
Sounds hot.
But because of that, like it gave him entryway. I don't know for sure. Don't quote me on this, but it gave him entryway into like making movies because they also lived in California at the time.
Oh, cool.
So he would do those movies like that, like those really cheesy, corny, like bad guy movies it had kung fu in them. And in one of the movies, he got burned, badly burned.
No, not dead.
No, not dead.
Badly burned.
Just burned. But he he was in full body cast in a bed in the movie. And the bad guy comes in, like tries to like kill him or whatever. But I remember that. But that was funny about that.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking about your video store in Gaston, South Carolina. When you talk about it, it kind of makes you think about the movie Clerks.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Where the guy is like, I don't know. I don't watch movies. It's like, what do you think about this one? I don't know.
Yeah, for sure. They didn't know anything about him. Yeah. But it was always a lot of fun. You know, I would walk down to that video store a lot, which is probably about 6-7 miles away. Go down there, and I would spend my $5 and get 5 VHS tapes. And I'd watch each one of those movies 2 or 3 times.
O had similar experiences. Like, he would go to his neighborhood video / GameStop type thing and rent movies and
video games, too.
Video games, yeah.
Definitely would rent a bunch of video games Friday nights with my grandmother.
Yes. Talk her into rating a mature adult.
Guilt tripper into doing it.
Guilt tripper.
Yeah, you think about it.
Rated
like,
E.
Think about it. So when you were coming up, what was a rental, like $3.99?
Nah. So it just depends. Sometimes, like if you go like to the red box, you can go for like $1.99.
So like $5 at the most.
Yeah.
Right. So you got $5 at the most. A pizza from Little Caesars. What is that? $5?
Yeah.
You can get a couple of those over the weekend. You basically just entertain a kid for $20 for the entire weekend. Good luck.
That's true.
Doing that right now.
That's true.
Even if you get a game that's cheap, every microtransaction in the game costs like $1 and $5 and.
That's so true because games never had to pay out of pocket for
no, you just got the whole game.
Different levels and like different things. And now it's like, we're gonna monetize every part of this game. Even like the NPC. Yeah. Like you're monetizing NPCs.
Do you know? Okay, so think about this. All right, obviously, research and development, a lot goes into design, right? But on my phone, they just allowed, iOS finally allowed a game emulator. They wouldn't allow those for a long time, so they finally just allowed one. Now, you still have to go out and download the games, right? And then put them on your phone, and then you can play them. Like you put the backbone on your phone, or you can play it on the screen, right? All of Super Mario 3, 587 kilobytes.
What are kilobytes?
So the download Super Mario 3, the file.
Yes.
587 kilobytes.
Okay.
Do you understand how
comparison
small that
to-
is?
Oh.
That's not even a megabyte.
Oh, okay.
A regular game would be like anywhere between 50 to 100 something gigabyte.
And a gigabyte is 1,024 megabytes. So you've got.
Wow.
So this is not. So it's that tiny. So you pay $2 for access to a character in a game like that. That is probably, as far as the coding goes, 12 kilobytes.
Okay.
So they designed something that's 12 kilobytes. So the amount of design and space and images is very small.
Yeah.
$5 a piece. And how many do they sell? Millions of those games. Mm-hmm. And then if you get somewhere in the neighborhood of just 10% of the people to pay for that extra skin,
They will.
just think about the money they're just raking in.
They will. I remember I had a bad Candy Crush addiction back when it first started. Candy Crush and Angry Birds. Like, those are my favorite, like, phone games.
I've got one that I'm addicted to right now called Goddess, Godus, and all you do is just build a world, and you have to end up farming and mining. It's like a job. And it's a job that you spend money on.
Yeah.
It's not a job that pays you anything.
Right. So, on those Candy Crush and all those, you have to pay extra if you want to, like, hit certain levels.
If you want the super VIP package.
Yeah. But speaking about working, there was that game that was like you could make food. Like you had your people, like you were a person, and you would like make a ton of sandwiches and burgers. And I love doing stuff like
I
that.
used to play those games like Popeye's Freezery.
Yeah.
The whole franchise.
Yes.
Pizza, waffle. They had
Make
have
us
food.
Yeah.
Make it.
Have your restaurant be successful. Successful franchise. I know, right?
That's nuts.
With the microtransactions, though, you're probably lucky you don't play Call of Duty. There's a Cheech and Chong skin on now on Warzone. It's like $30, but it's like so like your finishing move, like your gun, like when you kill somebody, like turn them into a joint, like on the.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Damn, about to make me play Call of Duty again. But
you try to get back into it.
Every now and then I'll get on it and play it. But if you don't play consistently, you eventually just fall so far behind. It's kind of hard to jump back in. But man, it was fun, man. I work y'all. Be all y'all. I just work. Just put work in. Just murk all y'all. Now, nah.
Right. You'd probably lose now.
Now I don't even know where the bullets coming from. Now I'm like, oh, why did I die immediately?
Yeah, I've heard you curse a few times.
And I'm tired of being cussed out by 12-year-olds. Mm-hmm. Like, you already shot me. Why are you still cussing in my ear? Let it go, bro.
The things that these kids say online.
Pretty rough.
I'm like, your mom let you, like, talk like that?
What's their mom going to do?
I don't know.
Not in this day and age. You can't punish them.
True.
That's abuse.
True. So, what did we do since the last time we were on the podcast?
So we
had Trey on right before we went to FastLife.
Yeah,
right?
we did the FastLife, so that's cool. Let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah. So the camp out was freaking awesome. Unfortunately, it's the last year for the camp out. I'm sure, Jace has some stuff up his sleeve,
They'll
but
probably do something else. I just don't know if they're going to do that again.
Yeah.
That specific spot. And then someone told me that the campground may have been sold.
Really?
The day after the camp out. So
Okay.
that's interesting.
that is interesting.
Yeah. But the camp out was great. The property was great.
Yeah.
It's a really great venue. I liked the way it was laid out. You had several different sections and, it was quick access to get down and ride the Talamina. Which was cool.
It was cool. And the ride there was fun. It's it kind of going from Dallas into Oklahoma and then getting into Oklahoma, it really felt like more like what we're used to as far as the trees and the mountains. You could see, little hills and things. So that was really fun. And then getting onto the campground, we actually stayed in an RV. So that was fun to stay. That was my first time ever staying in an RV, which was cool.
Yeah, you enjoyed it?
I did. Because it's just convenient being there without having to be in a tent and even though I've gotten used to tent camping.
Yeah, well, we're getting ready to do another one of those shortly. So.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
But the first day that we were there was perfect weather.
It was beautiful.
We got in, beautiful weather, clear skies. And then around 2:30 a.m., it started.
The heavens opened up.
Yeah. It rained for like 2-3 hours straight. I think we got 3 to 4 inches in 1 hour of rain. The awning over the camper was like flooding with rain, and it was like moving back and forth because of the winds. And
Yeah, so we didn't bring the awning in
yeah,
before, so you can actually make it roll in.
right.
But it was catching the wind just like a sail.
Mm-hmm.
So I could see it outside the window, and every time the wind would hit it, it would just like it would lift the camper up a little bit.
I know. And here I am in my head. I'm like, oh yeah, we are in Oklahoma,
Right.
in like Tornado Alley, really. So that was exciting. And then the next day, actually dried up, and we went riding the Talamina with Jace and a few other friends.
Jace
crew.
and Jake and Lo and Matt Gutter.
Yeah.
Gutter was there. Some other folks that we got to
Anthony.
meet. Yeah, we got to meet for the first time. Big Matt or
Yeah.
Bigger Matt, because it's Matt and Matt. One's
Yes.
Big Matt and one's Bigger Matt.
Yeah.
Right.
I think so.
Yeah.
They're both tall.
They're both big as hell. Gutter, boy, I think it was the second night we were there. So Gutter is Matt Van Buren. He was on the podcast, former UFC fighter.
The first night.
Bellator. It was the first night, yeah. So we're out there and we're making some burgers. And, obviously he's a big dude. He's at 6'5", huge. And he works out every day because he's training and all that. So I'm sure he put some food down. Boy, can he put some food down. So he had a double cheeseburger. That was the starter.
This is appetizer.
I was just getting the palate adjusted for food coming in, right? Just the foundation of what I'm about to eat was a double cheeseburger.
Uh-huh.
So he had a double cheeseburger, which in my mind counts as two burgers.
Okay.
Then he went back and got another single. So now we're at 3.
Mm-hmm.
Then another single burger. So now we're at 4.
Okay.
And by the 4th one, I think that if I wouldn't have given him shit, he'd have gone back and got a 5th one.
You left the hot dogs off.
No, because I'm getting there. He had 2 hot dogs during this time as well. And then I was like, damn, Matt, you hungry? And he kind of like, oh, I didn't eat that much. I was like, what do you mean you didn't eat that much? Then he goes down to the camp out area, eats 10 tacos down there. We come back and we're at the camp out. I hear something outside. He's rustling around looking for more food.
A bear?
I was like, bro, you have a tapeworm.
Is there a bear outside?
You have a UFC-sized tapeworm.
He's a big dude, though.
He is.
He has to feed, a lot of them.
Yeah, no, he's a big guy, but damn, I've never seen someone eat that much.
It was a lot, but
And that's
I
not
don't blame him.
counting all the stuff that goes with a burger, like the fries, and it's just nuts.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, he was putting food away, but food was good. Jake cooked a lot near the camp out, did a
Yes.
good job. Breakfast was great.
Kept us fed.
Yeah, food down at the camp out was great.
Mm-hmm.
All the people were super nice. I mean, everybody was really friendly.
I know. It was a really cool, like, laid back vibe. This year was different apparently from several years ago. I think, it just kind of evolved and changed. But it was really cool. Nothing crazy went on. Everybody was friendly and nice, and it was just a really good moto community.
Yeah,
vibe.
everybody, it's called the FastLife Camp Out because most of the people that are going, they ride. They
Mm-hmm.
ride fairly fast, and the group we're riding with, they're all performance baggers.
Yeah.
Pretty much everybody had a souped-up motorcycle in that group.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of fun. Just wailing down the highway.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was crazy.
it was crazy.
I think we were going, I don't know.
Allegedly. I know when we passed that 18-wheeler, that when I looked down, well, again,
I mean, your gauge says if you're going
Right.
70, it's going to say like 200.
right, but it was really high. And then I also had my ways up, so I saw the triple red.
You did? How dare you? But so don't take me to another motorcycle camp out with, cool, awesome custom bikes, because I'll want to get another something.
Yeah,
Something.
this camp out cost me a chunk of change. Yeah, because Z happened to hop on a bike while we were there.
Yes.
And the moment she went, riding around the camp in it,
Oh my gosh.
And as she's riding back up, the perma-ground on her face made my back pocket hurt immediately.
He's like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to get this girl this thing. So
what is it? What is it that we're getting ready to spend some money on?
On a freaking Grom, you guys. I'm so excited. It's not even a full-sized bike. It is a mini bike, and I'm freaking super excited about this.
Well, it's kind of full circle for
It
you.
is full circle. I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
It's the bike that I learned. I took the MSF course on.
Yeah.
So I'm going to.
It's literally the first motorcycle you ever controlled by yourself.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I can still control that.
Yeah, clearly. It's a good time. And of course, I mean,
What?
we could just go get a Grom.
This dude over here.
But look, if I'm going to buy a bike like that, so if I'm going to buy a bike that I can just throw in the back of the truck, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to want to do stuff with it. You know, I'm not going to want to just have it for the road. I'm going to want to be able to use it off-road around a campground.
Oh, okay.
So our big trip coming up at the end of the month, we're going to Big Bend.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to be out in the desert, and we're not taking the big bikes down there. We're taking the truck and in a tent.
Hopefully. And
Yeah.
hopefully a new Grom. Hopefully.
And hopefully a new Grom. But I wanted to be able to go off-road. So what I did is I looked up how to make a Grom an adventure bike. So I've priced out all the parts, did everything that I would need to do. I've actually found one that I'm pretty sure I'm going to buy that has most of it done. So I'll only have to do a little bit more.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, you can't. We're not going to buy a motorcycle and not do a build out.
We're not going to.
Of course we're going to do a build out.
Oh my gosh, you guys. I just have fun just getting on the thing. And it rides 2 up too.
Yeah.
So we can
Especially
both get
with-
on it.
Yeah, especially with the mods that are on this one. We can definitely do 2 up.
Why am I more comfortable riding 2 up on a mini bike than I am on your bagger?
I don't
How's
know.
that the case?
I don't know. I don't think I would be.
I think it's just because it's just so nimble and cute.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so cute.
If it all works out, we should have that probably this week, and then we'll start making it ours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I also saw, Jace has a super sweet FXR that's
That thing is
freaking
nice.
so nice. And he was killing it through the curves.
I should probably, I've got a good friend who has an FXRP that he's not really doing anything with.
But the bike is so nice. It's not too small. It's just small enough. The styling on Jace's bike though is freaking
It's sharp.
amazing.
It's a good looking bike.
Yeah.
Yeah, and big ups to him for riding it the way he does.
I know.
Because I didn't notice, but I think it's rigid, isn't it?
I think so.
I could be wrong.
I think so.
Could be wrong.
He rides it.
I might be wrong about that, but it can't be comfortable.
Mm-mm.
But
I mean, he said it when he was on the podcast last time. He said it
that's
wasn't-
true.
The seat's just like,
But yeah,
Big enough.
he rides it like he stole it. But that's the thing that I like about the whole crew is that they pretty much all of us do that.
I know. That was fun.
Yeah.
So that was FastLife Camp Out. It was a good time. Met some cool people. Hung out with some of our friends. And then we went from that straight to work the next week and back in Atlanta. Had a couple of things going on there. And then took Ocean out for his 22nd birthday on Saturday night. We went and had a good dinner.
Oh man. He's getting old.
Yeah. And then they took me to my favorite sushi last night. So
Yeah.
that was amazing.
Yeah. How was your Mother's Day?
It was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Good. We did well. O.
Yeah.
Did a good job. I know O got you some really nice perfume,
I know.
and then we collaborated on a thing that you wanted for a while, so that was pretty cool. And then you got some sushi last night.
Yeah. Yeah. So
And that sushi was good. Well, I didn't have the sushi. I had the steak and mushrooms, and it was very good.
I know. But they had an appetizer, which was a Korean barbecue spring roll.
What's the name of that spot? Idoko?
Idoko.
It was so good.
Yes.
I'll go back there just for that.
That was so good.
So to describe it, obviously it was wrapped. Was it seaweed wrap?
Rice paper.
Rice paper wrap, and then it had the
It had some springs. It had some Korean barbecue in there. It had some
it's like a
spicy
pico,
mayo.
almost like a pico de gallo
like
on the top.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so yummy. And like when you would just put in your mouth, it would all just kind of blend together, and it was like had a sharp and sweet taste to it, and the meat was just so good. Yeah, you should check that out. So, and then obviously my steak was good, but your sushi was good.
Yeah, sushi was delicious.
Yeah, they looked at me funny because I don't eat sushi, but I do like cucumber rolls.
Right.
So it's like, can I get a cucumber roll? And they're like, would you like a tuna one? And I was like, just a cucumber roll.
Just seaweed with rice.
Seaweed, rice, and cucumber.
Like really tiny, tiny sliced cucumbers inside.
It was yummy.
Wrapped.
It was yummy.
Yeah.
We also got to watch some really cool movies because you know, obviously we're movie buffs. So I put on Raising Arizona, which is kind of a mother's kind of got to do with it. Stolen mother.
Stolen valor.
Like stolen valor. It's a stolen mother. But yeah, the Coen brothers are always good. And then we watched some old school movies like Something About Mary and Ace Ventura. Boy,
Something About Mary still cracks me up because it's just there's some gross out humor, but then there's also just plain old humor, just hilarious. Ben Stiller, Cameron Diaz. Who's the guy that plays a detective? He's in a lot of other movies too.
Matt Dillon.
Matt Dillon.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting because Ben Stiller went through a phase, and actually several of his movies are movies where he just can't get anything to go his way. It's like that's the Ben Stiller role.
Yeah.
Right?
Like
whether it's
Along Came Polly,
Meet the Parents, Tropic Thunder. He's just this guy who's woefully inept and just can't get stuff to go the way he wants it to go.
But the movie that he did get people, was Zoolander. That was the movie where he was like hot stuff, right? Supposedly.
Yeah. Zoolander is still one of my favorites. Zoolander 2, not so much. But Zoolander 1, even though like the jokes are so obvious and stupid, they still make me laugh. Like the one about where he's showing him the school. Yeah. And he goes, "What is this?
A school
for ants." Like it's so stupid, but I still laugh the way he does, the way he sings, he says it.
And then he plays a really good douchebag in Dodgeball.
Yeah, he does.
Global Jim.
But even in that scenario, he's a guy who's just can't get out of his own way.
He really couldn't get out of his way.
My favorite part of that whole movie, I love Dodgeball. And you say it all the time. If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball or whatever. But my favorite one is after the
favorite line.
I know, it's like the thing you quote constantly. Like you'll say it even when it doesn't apply. We'll be driving down the road and like someone will cut over in front of you and go, "Well, if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball." And I'm like, "What are you?"
Shut up.
It doesn't work here. What are you talking about? But after the credits, they show Ben Stiller in the fat suit, like, and he's like, he goes,
eating all that food.
Fatty make a funny. It's like it's one of my favorite things. I love that line so much. But I can't.
So inappropriate.
This isn't my original thought, but it really strikes home when you watch Ace Ventura again. As much as I love the movie, it really strikes home that it's just an hour and a half trans joke.
Oh snap!
The whole movie is an hour and a half trans joke, and I'm not making a judgment in either direction.
No,
I'm just saying that's what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, think about
Einhorn.
Like, think about whenever he realizes that she's a man. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen Ace Ventura, but
the detective,
the crying game starts playing. He burns his clothes. It's like, it's so extreme. It's such an extreme reaction. You know what the crying game is, Ocean?
No, I do not.
It's this really well-known movie. I would say it's late 80s, maybe mid 80s. I don't know, somewhere in the 80s, about a guy who gets into a relationship with what he believes is a girl and can't seem to accept that it's really a girl. Forrest
Whitaker's in it. He's like really young.
Makes sense that he couldn't see it.
Stop it right now.
I like Forrest Whitaker.
Inappropriate.
But you know who? So Forrest Whitaker has been in a lot of great movies.
Yes.
But to this day, the very first thing I ever saw him in was Bloodsport.
Okay, yeah.
So that's who I see him as every time, is that jackass from Bloodsport. I can't get past it. But my favorite Forrest Whitaker thing of all time is Key and Peele. when they do Forrest Whitaker as a baby.
Oh my God.
Have you seen that?
I don't remember
we'll
that.
have to watch that later. If you're watching right now, go check it out.
I don't remember that. But I love Key and Peele anyways.
Yeah.
And they're so funny.
Hey, do we have any comments?
Shane says, "Didn't you stay at the Criver Campground? Adam Sandoval owns that."
Yep,
Yeah.
we did stay there.
We stayed at
Yep.
K River. Yeah.
Anonymous Biker USA says, "Everybody knows Chuck loves Taylor Swift."
Yes, he's a
She's
Swiftie.
my favorite.
He's a Swiftie.
Oh my God.
He also asked if any grills have been stolen lately.
Good
No.
one.
No, so let's address the Taylor Swift thing. Yes, I'm a Swiftie. I've always been a big fan of her music. She just is so genuine.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I always like it when people label themselves because I think it's a thing that you should do. Like, if you should
I'm
call
a
your
damsel in distress.
right. Like, I've always like, for instance, in the past, whenever you would look back at poets and people in the future would relabel them, those were tortured poets or starving artists. It's always nice when someone goes, "I'm a starving artist." Did you know? Like, you're
I'm
not
a
supposed
tortured
to,
poet.
You're not supposed to say that about yourself.
I'm a starving tortured.
Other people are supposed to say, "Are you a tortured poet, Miss Billionaire? Are you tortured?"
I don't think she's been tortured since she first came on the scene. 18, 19 years. How old was she?
Look,
17.
I'm not saying that this is the fact, but she definitely seems pushed, right? Some of the music is fun. There's a couple, just like with everybody else, there's a couple of Taylor Swift songs I actually like. Shake It Off, put it in, gets my cardio going. I'm excited.
That is,
Right.
yeah,
But as far as like
that's true.
her music overall,
It's like Party in the USA with Miley Cyrus.
I'm not the target, yeah,
Party
right?
in the USA.
I'm not the target demographic, but yet she's constantly in my feed.
Then why are you just skip,
I do.
scroll
I try.
past?
No, look, I think she's got a place, right? But she definitely strikes me as a product. She's a packaged
Cool.
product, right?
Nice.
Yeah. Thanks, anonymous biker.
Always bringing the controversy.
He's always messing with me.
Controversy.
Yeah, he's all. Oh, nice.
What else did we do this weekend? I think that's about it, honestly.
Yeah. So just to answer anonymous biker, I did replace my grill.
Oh yeah.
Super excited about it. I got a Gorilla Primate, which is got a griddle and a grill on it.
That's right.
And I got
You made Mother's Day brunch on it this
I
weekend.
sure did, and I like cooking
It
on
was
it.
delicious.
So I'm looking. I went out and bought a bunch of hibachi stuff so I can do some hibachi now.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm excited about that.
So let's talk about what we got coming up because we do got a few things coming up that I'm pretty excited about. We're planning to go to Born Free.
Yeah. So first we got the Big Bend trip,
We're
which
going
is
trip to Big Bend.
in 3 weeks, and then Born Free is the 2nd or 3rd week in June. So that's coming up too.
Yeah, I'm really excited about the Big Bend trip. I mean, it's going to be our first time. It's definitely a different type of camping because there's no electricity, there's no running water, there's none of that stuff. So you kind of have to go prepared. But what I'm really excited about is it's one of the only 13 places in the world that's considered a gold standard dark sky.
Mm-hmm.
And what that means, in case you guys don't know, is it means that you can just stand there and look up and see the Milky Way. There's zero light pollution. So you just kind of get to look up and it looks like just this film that's playing above you of all these amazing stars. And
It's gonna be like a movie.
a movie. I really wanted to do that when we went to Hawaii because I wanted to go to the Keck Observatory, which is above the clouds. It's one of the other dark sky places.
Yeah.
And
But we went during COVID.
we went during COVID and it was closed, so we didn't get to do it. But maybe they'll open it up in the future and we'll go back. But it's actually rated as a better overall sky because you can, I guess, see more. I don't know.
I think it's just because
Yeah.
there's so much more to see.
But I'm excited about
Big
that.
sky.
And then we're going to hopefully have a Grom that's modded out and we can take it on the trails. Yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun.
That's gonna be so fun.
Yeah. I think a big bore kit and everything in a Grom.
You did what?
It's gonna big bore.
Don't listen to him. He's lying right now.
A big bore kit and a
You know
Power
what? We put a
Commander.
132 up in that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
Could you put a 132 in a Grom? You'd have to like put it in the sidecar. You have to attach the sidecar. That thing would just go straight to the moon. Just
Could you
straight up in the air.
imagine? Could you imagine?
No, I mean, you can literally lift that thing. You can pick a Grom
bigger. It's bigger than the bike.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You'd have to have it in a sidecar.
It's a rocket.
Feel like
So silly.
Fast and the Furious 12 flying it to Mars. Because they went to space on one of the last ones,
Just
right?
get on and go.
Don't tell me you're taking a Grom to Mars. So we got that, and then Born Free, and then Sturgis.
Yes.
And then we've got some other really cool, exciting stuff that is coming down the pipe that hopefully we'll be able to talk about real soon. But I'm excited about.
Yeah.
Kind of call back to some of the film stuff I've done in the past, and
I know.
kind of where things are. So stay tuned for that. We'll give you more information on that as we get it.
And if you're paying attention to my hat, shout out to Michelin tires. Thank you. I have a partnership coming up with Michelin tires. Going to be putting some of those on the bike and checking them out. And I'll also be doing a giveaway. So
Yeah.
I'll announce that as we get rolling, but excited about it.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really super excited to get to work with them. That's going to be cool. So,
Yeah.
all right. Oh, you got anything you want to share with the folks before we close out this week?
Nah, I got nothing.
Nothing,
Good
guys.
job. Good job on that one. Way to be ready for the moment.
Guten Jobin.
Z, take us out.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I know it was a different one. Just us, 18,
Yeah.
I think it was. It's really
Miss
cool.
Sharon.
I know.
She
I
couldn't
miss
be here
producer
tonight,
Sharon.
yeah.
She couldn't be here tonight, but
But we did see her last week.
yeah, we did get to spend time with Sharon and Ash. We went to dinner with them on Friday night. So it was
Hola
fun.
Taco.
Thanks, guys, and shout out to our boy Ruben.
Yeah,
the
if you're in
GM.
Atlanta, go give Hola Taco some love. That is some good Tex-Mex.
Technically, it's Ola Taqueria
Yeah.
in Roswell.
You'll get it. If you put Hola in, you'll find it.
It's an amazing Holcomb Bridge Road, guys. So yeah, shout out to Sharon, but thanks, producer Ocean, for producing tonight. And make sure you go ahead and like and subscribe and leave a comment. Tell us how you like the show.
All right. Shiny side up.
Appreciate it.
Peace.
Deuces.
Good show.